I am truly honored to have been appointed executive director, and I'm so grateful to the whole Sustainable Westchester board for placing your trust and your confidence in me. From the very earliest days, starting with our intrepid colleagues in Northern Westchester who created INITIATI and celebrated interdependence, followed by a parallel effort in Southern Westchester and the creation of SWEAC, we've had the vision of an organization that would allow us to accomplish more than we ever could on our own. As a nonprofit organization that counts almost every Westchester municipality as a member, Sustainable Westchester is in a unique position to serve the whole beautiful and diverse mosaic of municipalities that makes up this county. And with almost 1 million residents, 1 in almost every 330 people in this country live in Westchester. That means that we have the opportunity to have a really big impact through our work together, both through our scale and by demonstrating the power of this unique model that we've created together. And we need every bit of our collective power because we face some really daunting challenges. Climate change, as you know, is manifesting itself in more severe storms, in rising sea levels and increasing temperatures. Within 80 years, Westchester is actually expected to be as hot as it is now in Louisiana in the summer. In addition, Westchester County is graded F for air quality by the American Lung Association. At the same time, as you all know better than anyone, people are really struggling. Unemployment is up, revenues are down, and the pandemic is inflicting its terrible cost across the county, but particularly in communities that were already struggling. And these challenges have to all be addressed together. We don't have the luxury of addressing them one by one because they're all connected and they're all urgent. We have to address the climate crisis in a way that is cost efficient, that creates jobs, and that brings benefits to communities that have carried a disproportionate burden. Happily, New York State's nation-leading climate law provides a framework for this. It requires us to achieve 70% renewable energy on our electric grid by 2030, up from less than 30% currently. So that's in 9 years going from less than 30% to 70%. We're also required to reduce greenhouse gas emissions 40% by the same date. And very importantly, the state requires a minimum of 35% of the benefits related to achieving these goals be directed to disadvantaged communities. So how do we accomplish what we must? As poet Amanda Gorman so memorably said, there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. Municipal officials are charged with seeing and being the light in your own community. My commitment as executive director is to partner with all of you more effectively than ever before, so that together we can all shine brighter and we can be a beacon in New York State and beyond. Here in Westchester, within our municipalities, our sustainability committees, and our local nonprofits, we're so blessed with unparalleled expertise in finance, energy efficiency, renewable energy, community engagement, and more. We'll supercharge that by facilitating deeper and more effective collaborations as well as bringing additional resources into the county to allow us to accomplish our collective goals. We promise to help you tackle your priorities more easily and efficiently so that you can do more. We're also going to call on you to join your neighboring municipalities in initiatives that can only achieve their potential impact if we go in on them together. Sustainable Westchester offers programs that can help you take important steps towards our clean energy future and our sustainable future, as well as often providing financial benefits and operational efficiency. Importantly, these programs, many of which have become a model for the state, can all make your municipalities eligible for grant funds. All the energy-related programs we offer, in fact, are high-impact actions under NYSERDA's recently announced Clean Energy Communities program that provides funding on a competitive first-come basis. We can also help position you for funding from the Smart Communities program and from the DEC. So now we're going to hear from our wonderful expert program directors about how each of our program areas fits in the context of the big climate picture and how these programs can help you achieve your goals. We'll start with Dan Welsh, the program director for Westchester Power, who has been a key contributor to this organization from its very earliest days. Dan?
Thanks, Nina, and hi, everybody. So the term community energy, it's really important. It's not just a convenient name for a group of our programs. It's an exhortation. It's a reminder that we have a commitment to engaging all community members as partners and beneficiaries. When the dust settles on this incredibly fast-changing era, we'll want to see an energy economy that brings meaningful and equitable benefits to all. We built this train. Let's make sure we're bringing everybody aboard. So why does it matter, and what does community energy look like? It still needs to make an impact at scale. Even as we drill down to the individual, it's essential that we achieve meaningful emissions reductions and positive environmental impact. It has to provide for ease of adoption. This is essential for access and scaling. It should also help build resiliency and healthier environments. Our communities are demanding this. And it puts power in the hands of communities. Our traditional structures created passive consumers, and that's not going to get us there. It has to offer access to a broad range of residents. Program design in the past has been based on particular state policies or certain markets that were not open to all. And it should move us towards the creation of a green local economy. We're not just swapping out something we don't want with something we do. We're working out what the economy is going to look like going forward. The creation of Westchester Power was the moonshot that launched the community energy movement in New York State. Bold action by Westchester municipalities has given the state its model for the expansion of renewable energy uptake and public engagement in this area. The importance and impact of this accomplishment is recognized in the NYSERDA Clean Energy Community Grant Program, where participation in renewable supply is awarded the highest point contribution. So let's see how we've done. We built this community energy program vetted and adopted by Westchester municipalities in 2016. And with the successful petitioning of the Public Service Commission, we brought decision-making power down to the local level. We created what is now the state model. Soon after the launch, the PSC adopted it statewide. And by sourcing renewable energy from New York State, we're keeping the dollars and the environmental impact locally. And lastly, we've built an effective launchpad for deeper impact and engagement. And you're going to hear more about this exciting work from my colleagues. So we can go ahead and allow ourselves a bit of pride in the progress to date. We have shown impact and scale. Westchester Power communities have reduced their carbon footprint by a huge 830,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide. That's the equivalent of 180,000 cars taken off the road for a year, or 13.7 million tree seedlings planted and grown for 10 years. Achieving that scale meant managing growth and increased activity. There's a lot that goes on under the hood with IT and data, customer service, marketing help from our colleagues. In 2020, we made continuous improvements in those support areas, and we introduced some exciting innovation in the bidding process with the first use by a community aggregation of an online reverse auction system. Of course, the most important contribution to these efforts was the continued commitment to the goal of a clean, green economy by Westchester Power communities. With 100% of our municipalities stepping forward to continue in the second round of renewals and the recent addition of Tuckahoe, welcome, Westchester Power municipalities continue to get the job done and serve as a model for others. This challenging but successful 2020 has set us up for another exciting year in 2021. In 2021, we're looking to some exciting developments. Organizing activity in interested new municipalities suggests a 50% expansion in clean energy uptake. Integrating community solar. Without the basic Westchester Power program, this exciting opportunity and increased access and the potential environmental justice benefits would be out of reach. And we're working towards the continued evolution of this platform. The scale and success provides us the access to the best ideas and technologies to help us realize this mission. I'm excited to hear Michelle tell us about some of the ones they're starting to deliver. But it's not all about technology. We are exploring the possibility of different models and contract structures that would offer a pathway to equity in both senses of the word. So now I'm going to ask Nina to put back on her other hat as Director of Solar Programs and tell you about some of the tools that we have in our toolkit to address these challenges.
Great. Thank you so much, Dan. At Sustainable Westchester, we're really passionate advocates for community solar. This new approach to solar, which allows people to subscribe to solar installations located off-site, has catalyzed solar development across Westchester County. It offers almost everyone the opportunity to benefit from solar energy, dramatically expanding access to solar savings, including for lower income residents who need them most. It accelerates solar development and also provides revenues to community solar hosts, including some of our municipalities. We're collaborating with municipalities in a range of ways related to solar, including outreach campaigns to bring community solar to your community. These campaigns offer your residents savings of up to 10% on their electricity bill. They advance your participation in the Clean Energy Communities program, and they can generate funds for local sustainability initiatives. We've also been able to help a number of municipalities and housing authorities to enroll in community solar themselves for their own savings. We're also providing support to municipalities pursuing solar installations on their own property. And importantly, we've been working with NIPA and with Peter McCart at Westchester County on an effort to aggregate municipalities as community solar hosts. In this effort, we're racing against diminishing incentives from New York State, but well over 30 public entities have submitted sites for consideration, and NIPA has prioritized this effort. We've also been connecting private property owners with solar development opportunities to spur more local solar development. So as the year goes on, we'll continue with all of these efforts, and I'm thrilled to share that we're also developing an opt-out community solar program that will allow us to deliver community solar savings to residents in Westchester Power communities on an opt-out basis. This is something we've talked about for a long time, and this program, supported by funding from NYSERDA and Westchester Community Foundation, will first prioritize providing these savings to low-income residents in those communities. We'll be inviting your participation in this program shortly. And also, I mentioned that New York State incentives for community solar will soon be expended for new projects. We're collaborating with New York City and with other parties to petition the Public Service Commission to renew its support of community solar, particularly now that we're going to have an easy way of providing its benefits to low-income residents. So we're going to be reaching out to all our municipalities soon to enlist your support in requesting these additional incentives. If you want to learn more about any of this, you're welcome to join the solar breakout room at the end with my colleagues Claire Kakaska and Carmen Santos to learn more. And now I'll turn it over to Rachel Carpatella, our Director of Commercial Clean Heating and Cooling, who will tell us why electrification is a key step to meeting our climate goals. Rachel?
Thank you, Nina. Electrifying everything is the next logical step. The power sector is evolving, but clean electricity alone won't solve our emissions problem. On-site combustion of fossil fuels still pollutes the air we breathe. Strategic electrification creates communities that operate cleaner as the grid becomes greener, resulting in deep decarbonization. This matters because beneficial electrification furthers the clean energy transition through policy, regulation, investment, and technological revolution. With a renewable electricity energy supply, we are able to tackle the biggest greenhouse gas emitting sectors connected to daily life, cars and buildings. Commercial and residential buildings represent roughly 60% of the state's total energy consumption. Heat pumps use electricity in an energy efficient way. Air source heat pumps and variable refrigerant flow systems transfer absorbed heat from the outside air to an indoor space, much like a refrigerator. Ground source heat pumps, also called geothermal, tap into the Earth's constant temperature of 55 degrees. Parts of Westchester are gas constrained. Without reliability, projects would need to be built with a backup heating system, a costly endeavor. Other areas historically don't have access to gas pipelines and rely on expensive and polluting heating oil and propane. This innovative technology provides a sustainable solution across the county. All structures that use heat pumps benefit from no burning of fossil fuels with a non-pipeline solution, reduced construction and maintenance costs while saving space in buildings, improved occupant comfort and indoor air quality while increasing ventilation and filtration, the opportunity to pursue green building certifications. Now that we've covered the educational overview, let's dive into program implementation. One of Sustainable Westchester's solutions is Commercial Clean Heating and Cooling, a first of its kind program in New York State supported by NYSERDA. Our county's proposed multifamily development alone represents an economic impact in excess of $10 billion and the green building opportunity of a generation. That being said, if we don't address our existing building stock, we won't reach our goals. There are no building limitations. Any commercial building is a candidate. Multifamily, retail, institutional, industrial, and mixed use. Our solutions aim to transform the heating and cooling marketplace by engaging and connecting key stakeholders. In 2020, we delivered on critical connections for all of our stakeholders. Thanks to the partnership of municipal, business, and industry leaders, we built relationships and grew our resources, which helps us to better serve and connect our municipalities to decision makers, solution providers, and funding opportunities. We then provided a seat at the table and elevated the conversation through an education series that included the Conversations in Clean Energy podcast, webinars, and roundtable discussions. We supported property developers and building owners through individual consultation to help them navigate the technical landscape and financial support. All will result in more energy efficient and healthier buildings in our communities. Now in 2021, in addition to continuing all we did in 2020, we're going to help our municipalities connect to new available resources, such as the NYSERDA Community Heat Pump Systems funding opportunity to assess feasibility across multiple buildings and property lines. Greening Westchester's 12 opportunity zones, downtown areas in low-income neighborhoods. Developing the green workforce, specifically working with priority populations. The Clean Energy Communities Leadership Round, where 5 of the high impact action items are specific to commercial clean heating and cooling. Your municipality could be awarded up to $275,000. And we see that commercial building sector intersecting solutions, such as community solar, electric vehicles, and demand response, will be more important than ever as we electrify everything. Join me in my breakout room or reach out to me after the meeting to work on this together. I'd like to introduce Lauren Broyce, Program Director of Energy Smart Homes.
Thanks, Rachel, for a great overview on the importance of transitioning our building stock. Today, I'm going to be talking about Sustainable Westchester's residential heating and cooling campaign called Energy Smart Homes. Can you hear me okay? I'm getting a message. Okay. Why address carbon emissions in our home? Well, we know that 75% of the energy used in a typical New York State home is for heating and cooling. And how do we really feel that statistic though? So you may be more aware of drafty rooms, frustrated by expensive heating costs, and possibly disheartened to know that or think about the carbon emissions associated with heating our homes. Energy Smart Homes can help you lower your energy bills, put a stop towards energy waste while making your home more comfortable and eliminating fossil fuel usage at home. Our campaign is part of a statewide initiative of localized clean heating and cooling campaigns. These efforts are funded by NYSERDA. An Energy Smart Home connects Westchester residents to NYSERDA programs offering energy efficiency solutions to homeowners and some renters based on their income levels. Programs include Comfort Home, Assisted Home Performance, and Empower. Now, Rachel had mentioned air source heat pumps and ground source heat pumps. I want to add some information about additional technologies. The programs that I mentioned on the previous slide all represent energy efficiency upgrades, which begin with a home energy assessment. Another heat pump technology that homeowners can take advantage of is a heat pump hot water heater. Rebates from Con Ed start at $1,000 a unit and NYSEG offering $700 a unit. So in 2021, we relaunched our Heat Smart program as Energy Smart Homes. Together with the previous Heat Smart campaign, we have upgraded over 40 homes, representing a reduction of about 90 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. We currently have active community campaigns in Pelham, Ossining, and Briarcliff, with past campaigns in Dobbs Ferry, Hastings, Bedford, Lewisboro, and Pound Ridge. These community campaigns all elevate the clean heating and cooling message, bring additional resources, and pull together community advocates to unite around reducing carbon emissions. The City of New Rochelle also has an Energy Smart Home program, which is primarily focused on serving economically disadvantaged residents with the Empower program, helping renters and homeowners tap into $10,000 worth of free energy upgrades. So we do have new opportunities for community campaigns coming in spring 2021, and I invite you to my breakout session to learn more about the application process. If you're not able to commit to a full community campaign, but still interested in pursuing a community campaign for clean energy community points, we are able to provide support and mini community efforts. So we would be happy to share content for your website or TV station, collaborate on webinars, and generally just help residents take advantage of the rebates and programs. So please reach out to me and we can support you with whatever you need. So next up, I'm going to introduce Seth Lightman, the Program Director for Clean Transportation and Electric Vehicles.
Lauren, thank you so much for your introduction. 38% of all emissions comes from transportation, period. So we need electric transportation that's more efficient, using only renewable energies, and also one day will even support the grid in times of need. That's from personal transport to school buses to heavy-duty vehicles. Our municipalities all throughout Westchester, to coin the phrase, are leading the charge. From Yonkers to Somers, Katona to Tuckahoe, and Mount Vernon to Ossining, they all know the time is now. With our reinvigorated vehicle discount program, we will meet the commitment to an EV in every garage all throughout the county. As we know, Sustainable Westchester is and will remain a consistent resource for all our member municipalities all throughout the county. We are also supporting our residents and municipalities with the ability to buy affordable electric cars, all through approved, trained, and reliable dealerships, as well as through strategic partnerships to make things happen and even shift the marketplace. More exciting is the increased amount of EV charging stations and infrastructure expected for the general public, school districts, and municipalities. Yes, as well as government fleets too. They all understand the time is now. Why? Build it and they will come. So in conclusion, we have the most aggressive vehicle discount program for all of our members. We have with New York State support an EV charging station program. We will have an EV school bus program that will finally get us moving on procuring e-buses, and we'll begin the process of a heavy duty vehicle discount program. So imagine one day an all electric truck coming to pick up your garbage, recycling, or compost. Thank you. Now I'll introduce Michelle Delafontaine, Director of Business Development.
Thank you, Seth. This is a critical moment. If New York State wants to be ready by January 2030, with the capacity of producing 70% of the electricity consumed from renewable generation, we must act now on new generation solutions. New York State depends on natural gas and other fossil fuels as its primary sources for 70%. The next generation solutions will have to address these dependencies. As business development, we continue to add layers to Sustainable Westchester Core in order to achieve a more efficient renewable energy system. We are constantly analyzing the threats and opportunities in the short, medium, and long term. The next generation solutions we are bringing will create blueprints to adjust the roadmap to the state goals. Sustainable Westchester's size and reach gives it a seat at a table. So bringing solutions to make the grid more efficient is the first element of Sustainable Westchester long-term strategy. The demand response program run by Con Edison is a logical part of that long-term strategy. Sustainable Westchester is rolling out the first residential demand response program called GridRewards, where homeowners can earn cash by doing simple things like raising the thermostat during hot summer days. Doing so reduces the demand for dirty generation, the peakers as we call them, mostly located in disadvantaged communities. We are also partnering with the Royal Dutch Shell company called Zonen to launch a virtual power plant pilot, which is going to connect multiple home solar and storage systems to one platform, acting as one system. The storage will also act as a backup power when the grid is out. Our ultimate goal is to install one storage unit in every home. Doing so will double the grid efficiency. Electrifying transportation will put a high demand on the grid. This is why we're building a demonstration at our headquarters, which will show that EV fast charging can be done without negatively affecting the grid efficiency. We call that concept Sunshine to EV. The second element of Sustainable Westchester long-term strategy is to add another layer to our Westchester Power program to enable it to enter in long-term power purchase agreement. The goal for Westchester Power is to participate in creating new renewable energy generation in the state. We call that additionality. Also, Sustainable Westchester is organizing its second hydrogen roundtable that will gather experts in this growing industry. Green hydrogen is a growing focus. Now, let me introduce my colleague Neha Danik, Director of Zero Waste Westchester. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, and good morning, everyone. So in the grand scheme of sustainability actions, why should we focus on a zero waste goal? To start with, let's take a look at the carbon impact first. With business as usual, the hidden life cycle emissions from the materials being extracted, manufactured, transported, consumed, and finally disposed will continue to add massive amounts of greenhouse gases to the US total. Whereas achieving zero waste with higher recycling and reuse rates will be equivalent to closing 1,000 coal-fired plants. The health impact is more local and stark. Our current waste management systems emit pollutants that cause both immediate and long-lasting health problems, including respiratory illnesses like asthma. So to protect our communities from such health crises and save millions of dollars in public health cost, we will need to go zero waste. Finally, the economics. Status quo will continue to cost Westchester taxpayers millions every year. And instead, creating a local circular economy, a zero waste economy, will put millions back into the taxpayer's account. So how do we achieve that? Sustainable Westchester offers a practical first step, a smart, data-driven technology platform we call Recycled Right, which provides a cost-effective way for municipal public works to connect with their residents. As a resident, you pay nothing to use this. You simply download the app, enter your street address, and get your specific pickup schedules, download and print them, and find answers to your recycling questions, report any issues, and all of this at any time of the day or week and in many different language options. As a municipal administration, you sign a service contract with us, and then you begin to see the cost savings and environmental benefits of replacing those often bulky and confusing printed sanitation calendars with this smart technology instead. Plus, this is a shared service, which gets you those credits. And last but not the least, this program has won a New York State's recycling grant for the past 2 years, which reduces the already low subscription fees by half. Last year, some of our participating municipalities had to change their pickup schedules due to COVID, and this platform made their work easier. We also customized the recycling database to meet specific requirements of each municipality. We saw an increase in the number of users. The mobile app has thousands of happy users, and the website version has hundreds of thousands of views. And in 2020, we also onboarded Village of Ardsley and Town of Cortland, welcome, thus reaching 14 municipalities in the Westchester County. And we renewed all of our existing municipal contracts, meaning we earned their confidence in continuing with this program. This year, we will continue to improve and add more features to serve our communities better. We will add more community resources to our website. Finally, we are also excited to continue bringing our quarterly webinars where we invite experts from within our community to share their own time-tested and proven zero waste strategies for everyday living. Our goal with the Recycled Right program is to prevent recyclables from ending up in trash wherever possible. And what remains then is the organic waste from our kitchen and yard. So we are launching a new initiative called Sustainable Landscaping to address that. We are currently working with the Village of Larchmont to establish a first green zone in the county at one of their municipal parks, which will serve as a demonstration site for conducting various hands-on workshops. After establishing this pilot project, we hope to assist your municipality in creating your own green zones and transition to a cleaner, healthier, and less wasteful landscape. Thanks for your time today, and I welcome you to join me in the breakout room to discuss our recycling and landscaping opportunities further. With that, I will turn it back to Nina Orville.
Great. Thank you so much, Neha, for that. So this morning, we've seen how much we've accomplished together, and also taken a look at what is still left to be done. At Sustainable Westchester, we're so aware that everything we achieve is really thanks to the work of committed municipal officials and staff, the engagement of dedicated sustainability committee and CAC members and other volunteers, the robust partnership provided by local environmental organizations, and of course, the leadership of our board of directors. So on behalf of the staff of Sustainable Westchester, I want to thank you all for everything that you bring to this collective effort. We're ready to get to work and to demonstrate how much we can achieve together. My goal and my expectation is that we'll all be astounded.